We apologize for this brief interruption in the show. As many of you likely know, the Higher Standard podcast is officially sponsored by Transcend Company. Transcend has been my longtime provider for both testosterone and peptide therapies, but they offer so much more. Whether you're interested in health, wellness, or longevity, it all begins with you getting your blood work done. A lab draw will help you get the numbers and establish your baseline. You can go to transcendcompany.com/THSP. That's transcendcompany.com/THSP. Or you can click the link in the show notes on any streaming platform and on YouTube. Fill out your information, and one of the representatives will contact you to get your journey started today. Now back to the show.
This is a whole lot of vernacular that I thought was still hip and cool that it's not.
Top that collar's not a thing anymore.
It's not
It
a
needs
thing.
to be, though. We need
Because
to
I don't think
bring it
people wear collared shirts anymore.
What do you
That's
mean?
the problem.
back. I got it right? No.
Yeah, but you're
No,
not.
but when they were popping collars, it was the...
This is an awkward conversation to
neck.
have with you while we're on a hot mic, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. You're not young anymore. Okay?
Neither are you, though.
Yeah, I know, but I've acknowledged that I'm not. So I
I'm
know
still
that
young. I'm in my 30s. I'm young.
That's not young, dude. They did a NBA tunnel like Q&A where they're asking every NBA player that walked by like what old was. Like half of them were like 26.
They're basing it on their careers.
It's wild. All right, welcome back to the #1 financial literacy podcast in the world. Sitting next to me is my Phantom Foe boxing partner in time, the one and only Saied Omar.
Sitting next to me on my left, my partner in crime, Chris Nahibi. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
And still here, believe it or not on PTO, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only DJ Haroon.
Wait, what are we doing?
There's no intro topic tonight, baby.
No, we're going straight into it.
We're going right into this.
Okay, so this is not going to be a normal episode, as our rotund friend in the back has suggested. And the reason why is we're going to have a little bit of a fireside chat about what we really think is going on in the economy and why it's so goddamn important to you. This is not just a, hey, you can make a lot of money. This is, hey, you can avoid a lot of heartache. You can avoid a lot of drama. There's so much going on right now that has such an important spin. But in order to get there in this conversation, we need to start by giving you a warning.
Oh, what kind of warning is that?
Not the usual expletive-filled language or parental discretion is advised, although there are some people who listen with their 13-year-olds to our show, which I always feel somewhat bad about.
But I salute you.
Yeah, I do salute you as well. We generally try to avoid politics to the extent possible. And anecdotally today, I was reading somebody's reviews on some random website about Mind Pump. And somebody was like, guys, stick to fitness, avoid the politics.
Nope. I want all the politics.
Yeah.
I want it all, baby.
Yeah. And then, ironically, I thought, okay, I should probably give some kind of discretionary opening statement in tonight's show like this, because there is no way we can avoid the political world with what we're going to talk about tonight and what's going on with the Fed. There is no way we can take a stance on what's going to happen without addressing the inevitable looming November 5th election. And it's just a reality of a narrative, and so much that's going on is going to revolve around the timeline of the election and the rhetoric you're going to hear leading up to it, shortly after it, and what will be perceived as the outcome. And to be clear, perception becomes reality.
Yeah.
So whether you like politics or not, the perception here is impactful.
Yeah, because it influences behaviors.
All right. So, Haroon, I'm sure even you, who does not pay close attention to the financial markets, were rocked by the rhetoric of a, quote, correction scare that happened this last Monday. We're recording this Wednesday the 7th, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Haroon, did you hear all that stuff on Monday?
I did, yeah. I sent you guys a message about it.
You did.
You did.
You did.
I was actually, thoroughly surprised.
Yeah, it was probably part of his pop culture research.
Yeah?
It was the one moment where pop culture and financial culture collided.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we all got some kind of alert. If you got Apple News on your phone, you got an alert about this huge, massive correction, and everybody's like, oh my God, correction, all day on Monday. And then Tuesday, silence.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Gone.
Mm-hmm.
But the impacts were not gone yet. So I knew waking up on Monday morning, because I was up late on Sunday night, that I knew that Japan, their markets had taken a pretty significant tumble. And I knew that given what the Nikkei had done, their stock exchange, that there was likely to be some spillover fallout in the U.S. economy, in the U.S. markets.
Because we're a global economy.
We're a global economy. We're all essentially tied together. Plus, there was a lot of reporting coming out, both this week and next week. A lot of job stuff coming out. And jobs are highly impactful because, again, the Fed's mandate here really is stable economy, right? Consistent, growing, healthy inflation, typically around 2%. And jobs, employment. What we thought previously was about 5% unemployment, now about 4.5% unemployment is kind of the new paradigm for normal.
Right.
Good, healthy amount of transitory migration from job to job, but still enough jobs to keep people employed.
And that weighed against what their predictions are for the year.
Yeah, and there's been a pretty significant divide between government jobs, which are hiring, and the private sector jobs, which are reducing.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the rhetoric now is the government is essentially propping up the jobs report. Now, you could say the government's doing that just because the government has more jobs available, but do they really, though?
Yeah, exactly.
And as Saied loves to say, we have no need to get conspiratorial here, but there's clearly something abreast, and we've covered this on many shows, with the job market.
Mm-hmm.
The Nikkei has its crash. Boom. Whammy. The market opens up on Monday morning, and there's all sorts of sell-off. The tech sector, in some ways, leading the way with all this AI hype manifesting. So let's be clear about some concepts. The stock market is overvalued, okay?
Right.
It is being carried by the financial sector, most of which is the AI rhetoric right now.
Mm-hmm. And the Magnificent Seven.
The Mag 7 is literally carrying what would otherwise be a very negative stock market.
Right.
If you remove the Mag 7 from the S&P 500, the top 500 performing companies in the country, you got a really ugly stock market.
Mm-hmm.
So they're carrying the market much more than they were during the tech bubble going into 2001, as an example. So now you have the market saying, okay, well, these values are all overinflated. But then at the same time, the bond market starts to fall into complete disarray. So with the bond market's turmoil, we saw the treasuries really move. For those of you who listen to the show, we've covered what treasuries are and what bonds are in a number of episodes. But essentially, you're buying government debt.
Right.
Of shorter duration, if it's a 2-year, then a longer duration, like a 10-year.
Right. And this is an investment for you.
Correct. So that government debt is considered a very, very, very safe and secure investment. And the 10-year treasury in particular is really important because it impacts the mortgage market. The mortgage rates in the economy tend to follow the 10-year more than anything else. They're not aligned 100%, but they certainly have a relationship, whereas the 10-year rises, mortgage rates rises.
Right. And you can typically see mortgage rates turn out somewhere between 2 to 3% higher than whatever the 10-year treasury is.
Yeah. And that's a good proxy. If you wanted to do one thing from listening to this show, get out your iPhone or whatever device you have and put the 10-year treasury on your watch list.
Mm-hmm.
And watch the 10-year treasury. And anytime someone asks you, hey, there, guy, what do you think is going to happen with the mortgage markets?
Right.
You can look at your 10-year treasury and go, they're going to be about 2 to 3% higher than this 4% rate. So it's going to be somewhere between 6 and 7%.
Yeah.
How do you know that, guy? Because I listen to the Higher Standard podcast.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
But, the fluctuation that we've seen recently over the past week, it typically doesn't move as fast as it had this last week. It's generally pretty slow. So when there's a big paradigm shift like this, it's kind of alarming.
Well, it was very alarming, and I think the market grabbed onto it. And one of the things that's really fascinating to me about humanity, more than just the market and this one thing, is that we have such this innate ability to get negative news, freak out about it, and then completely be better the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened in the stock market. But in the stock market on Tuesday, we saw some pretty interesting things change. So what precipitated this dialogue in this way was that we knew that there were recessionary indicators here afoot. We knew that realtors were all over social media saying, hey, oh my God, mortgage rates are going down, buy. And we've seen some mortgage activity pick up from what was a tremendously slow market. So there's been a lot of things that are happening and that we know are going to be a response to this that you're going to hear. So we knew that it was absolutely important that we came to you and gave you the information for you to take back and go, okay, this is how I should feel about this. I'm not going to listen to everybody telling me what I should be thinking about it because this is what I know to be true.
Right. So when you're looking at what happened in the stock market on Monday and the correction that had begun to happen, right? You have to ask yourself, what changed, right? Mm-hmm. There was more talk. The narrative is now being controlled. A lot of recession talk now, more so than ever, right? And a weakening labor market, okay? Now, these things have been true all along.
And we've been talking about it for literally 2 years.
Yeah, so the fact that it hadn't been getting more coverage was shocking to us because we've been talking about it all along. So it had me thinking back to our like smoke and mirrors segment on the last episode, where it's
Which you articulated very well.
yeah, thank you so much. That who's controlling this narrative, right? Because to us, the recession fears have been there all along, and the weakening job market. Okay, adding the last job reports that came out, right? We added 114,000 jobs. Okay, 100,000 keeps up with population growth. Okay, so there's not a lot of fear there, but the unemployment rate ticked up, right? And it's now at 4.3%. And this is something that the Fed likes to do, right? So although it's still considered historically low and a healthy economy is 4.5%, right? You gotta think, okay, in their summary of economic projections, they had anticipated and they predicted that unemployment would end at 4.0% by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We just hit 4.3%. So now they have something to lean on. They could have intentionally put that in a lower prediction because we know what their dual mandate is. Stabilize prices, make sure inflation doesn't get out of control, and make sure that there's a maximum employment. So they could, if they were trying to be strategic and give themselves a reason to cut later this year, knowing unemployment, it has to go up from 3.5%, 3.7%, 4%. That's not sustainable, right? Especially when inflation is going up. So you bake in a low prediction rate of unemployment, and then when it does come in higher, now you have something to lean on and say, oh, we told you guys we were going to be data dependent. Told you. So now we're at 4.3. We got to start cutting rates.
So let's go down this path, because this is the path that gets very political very quickly. Okay? 100% agree with everything you said, which is painful for me to admit where people can hear me say it.
Gotcha.
But it's true. I would also point out that the Fed has taken this data dependency stance since day one. We're going to be extremely data dependent. We're going to be extremely communicative. We're going to let you guys know how we feel about things and what's happening. But there was always hesitation baked in. They didn't want a 1970s hyperinflation. They didn't want a 1980s double dip recession. So walking this close into an election in November 5th, with the turmoil of now Trump being shot, with Kamala Harris being named the front runner as a candidate, which frankly, let's be honest here, if she would not have been the front runner, there's $250 million in the campaign pool that would have been effectively lost if not utilized. So there was an economic reason to prop her up as a potential presidential candidate. But now all this turmoil is going on. The last thing you want to do as a Fed is feed into this. So they needed something big to happen. They could point to you and say, hey, we're data dependent, but look at this massive ass market correction. Look what just happened. We're not cutting rates because of the president. We're cutting rates because this tangibly happened in the market. And I don't think this will be the only one before September. I think there'll be more coming, frankly. So what this gave the Fed was this one massive piece of data to look back and rely on, that they could point the finger at and say, hey, look, maybe we acted too early. Maybe we acted too late. There's a lot of rhetoric on both sides of the equation there. But you know what? We can tell you unequivocally it had nothing to do with the election because this event happened. Now, there's some interesting and compelling reasons why them doing that, a rate cut, which, by the way, going into Monday morning, there was a 122% probability of a rate cut in September. For those of you who don't remember world interest rate probability in Bloomberg, which we covered on a previous show, that effectively means guaranteed 25 basis points and a 22% probability of maybe 50 basis points.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy.
Because you would think that they would want to take a more gradual approach back down if they were truly able to achieve that soft landing scenario.
November now has almost 100% probability, still below it, even though it's widely consensus to believe that you won't see one then. You'll see a cut in December. And again, that's getting closer to 140% probability. But the interesting thing that was happening behind the scenes was there is still a 2-year, 10-year yield curve inversion. And just to be clear here, Haroon, if you could pull the note over there to the right a little bit more so I can see it. Thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna read exactly what I posted to social media on this because it got a lot of questions that I want to address on the show. This got little to no coverage today. This was Tuesday, the day after this all happened. But the movement in the bond market has been incredible. While the country was focused on the, quote, correction vernacular, Most people miss that we briefly popped out of the yield curve inversion, the 2-year, 10-year inversion. So again, the 10-year treasury is longer money. The 2-year treasury is shorter money. If you buy a 2-year treasury, it's a 2-year maturity. If you buy a 10-year, it's a 10-year maturity. Generally speaking, the farther out you go, the more expensive, the higher the rate is. In this particular market, because we're in a yield curve inversion, you actually get a higher rate on a 2-year because there's more confidence in what's going to happen in the next 2 years. And there's a lot of uncertainty in the next 10 years. So that is actually a lower rate. That, according to Bloomberg, wasn't supposed to get out of the yield curve inversion until Q1 of 2025.
Wow.
But throughout all of this controversy, the fact is the yield curve inversions have predicted recessions with near certainty. Out of the last 6 recessions since 1980, 5 were predicted by an inversion, okay, of at least 20 days. The 6th in 2020 was the COVID era pandemic, which in my mind was a government fabricated or created recessionary economy. So I look at that as a statistical outlier that really shouldn't be considered in traditional data, but whatever. It was an unprecedented event.
Right.
All right. So the COVID was heralded as a 6-day long inversion, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Here's what you need to know. We got out of the inversion on Tuesday briefly.
Yeah.
That's how much wide flux you had in the 10-year and the 2-year.
Right.
Which meant that the 10-year dropped and then rose, and the 2-year dropped, right? And it dropped a whole hell of a lot more than the 10-year rose.
Right.
And what happened is you got this brief period of time where you came out of the inversion. Now you're starting to see that come out. This typically precedes recessionary economies. These are huge warning signs of a recession. And guess what? It went right back to being inverted again.
Oh, wow.
So this movement in the bond market was spectacular for a lot of reasons. And I didn't think it got enough coverage on television, most notably because all you saw when you went to social media, the non-traditional media outlets, was, oh my God, mortgage rates are going to fall, because the 10-year dipped a little bit.
Yep.
And as a result of that, mortgage rates did drop a little bit.
I mean, some lenders were out there quoting high 5s, man.
Yeah, which to me was wild.
Yeah.
And look, you can do that. More power to people who got the rates, and I think you're going to see some action in the markets as a response to all this. But here's the problem. Now you've seen a small correction in the stock market. Great. Good. It's overvalued. There should be more correction to come. And I think you will see more correction in the stock market.
Okay.
What the catalyst will be kind of uncertain right now. But look, let's be honest. If the Nikkei has a correction, if London has a correction, you can expect to see the fallout in the United States. That's clear.
Okay. So to Chris's point earlier, when we were talking about these rate cut predictions, okay, the Bloomberg World Interest Rate Probability, that's one that we've relied on the show, and the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, right? CME Watch Tool, right?
Yeah.
As of right now, there's a 72% chance at a 50 basis point rate cut in September, right? That's currently, and a 28% chance at a 25 basis point rate cut. Something else that we've routinely talked about on the show, every 3 meetings or so, right? Every 3 months, the Fed releases what they call a summary of economic projections, right? Where they see how this all plays out with their rate cuts. The first one that got released earlier this year in March, they had predicted 3 rate cuts by the end of the year. This last one that came out, they revised that down to only 1 rate cut. Now, based on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, I haven't checked Bloomberg's World Interest Rate Probability, but based on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, they're baking in 3 rate cuts. So September, November, December. That's acting very quickly. If they do that, that means there's real problems ahead.
Because the market's afraid of another correction like this.
Oh, yeah.
The stock market's freaking out. Let me be clear. I don't think you're going to get 3 cuts like that unless something big happens. I think you're still going to see 1 in September, pause, 1 in December. That's what I think is the overwhelming probability of reality. But the stock market, the same people who predict this stuff, the economists who predict it, are freaking the hell out right now. They're going, shit, man. We have another correction like this, you're talking full-on recession.
Here's the problem, though, for all these people that are freaking out, right? A lot of this is based on what's going on in the market, okay? And unfortunately for them, there's also been a lot of positive data, too.
Oh, yeah.
You had the GDP print that came out, I mean, growing at a significant pace, like over 2%.
Yep.
Right? But you're still hearing rhetoric of like a rate cut before the next meeting.
Let me tell you the difference. You want to know what the difference is?
Yes.
This shit affects their pocketbook.
Yeah, exactly. That's why everyone's talking about it.
When everybody's pocketbook gets kicked right in the ding-ding, everyone starts to go, holy shit, wait a minute. I think there's a problem here. We should cut rates.
Yeah. So just for everyone to know, the Fed can act whenever they want. There can be an emergency rate cut if something collapses. Okay, and I have a list here of the times where it has happened in recent history. Okay, so they'll usually do this and pull this trigger to prevent some type of market crash. But one of the last ones that happened was after the tech bubble burst in January of 2001. That was a 50 basis point rate cut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean obviously that was very significant. That was a huge market crash, right? April of 2001, a weakening economy. They caught another 50 basis point cut, right? Same year. After 9/11, the terrorist attacks, 50 basis point cut. But look how significant these events were in order for them to do an emergency rate cut. I mean, these are all stuff that have been embedded in our minds. August of 2007, Fed cuts rates 50 basis points because of the housing market crash due to subprime mortgages, right? We all remember that, right? The great financial crisis. January 2008, the Fed cut 75 basis points because of the stock market crash that followed the great financial crisis, right?
Notice there's always a bigger cut after stock market action than there is anywhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you got October 2008 when Lehman Brothers failed, right? The financial system was in all sorts of disarray. And March of 2020 when they slashed rates completely and they cut it by 50 basis points.
So let me tell you simply why. This is just human behavioral economics, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can log into your 401k. You can log into Fidelity. You can log into E-Trade or whatever your accounts are, Raymond James, pick something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see the value of your stock in dollars right then and there. And you know for certain that's what it's trading at that day.
Yep.
Right? If I sold it today, that's what it's worth. Your home values aren't the same thing. And that's the other problem here, okay? If inflation, 30% of inflation is housing.
Right.
Right? If 40% of core inflation is shelter and housing, right? And they cut rates, the realtor's like, oh my God, value's gonna go up, value's gonna go up, value's gonna go up. No, they are not.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dispel that bullshit from social media right now.
Okay.
Let's just end the rhetoric here. You saw the 10-year, 2-year move in the way that we just described. Went down, popped back up, and it went from inverted to not inverted to back to inverted in a single day, in a matter of hours.
These things do not move that quickly. They're not supposed to anyways.
They're not supposed to. They do every once in a while, but again, in a matter of hours, okay? The mortgage market popped up. Everybody and their mother's getting mortgages. Oh my God, mortgage rates fell. Those mortgage rates are dropping in anticipation where people think that 10 years is going to go, because here's what happens. Before a rate cut, people in financial institutions go, ha, ha, ha. We know there's going to be a rate cut coming. We think this is going to go down this way. So they're essentially betting that mortgage rates are going to drop and these rates are going to be attractive in the market later on. Because most people who originate loans are going to sell them in the secondary market. They're not going to keep them on their portfolio. Banks keep stuff in their portfolio, on their books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lenders, who generally drive the low price in the markets, will sell them into the market. Well, guess what? If they're wrong and they're originating, like you said, in the high 5% and mortgage rates go up to 6.5%, 7%,
yeah,
those mortgages are not as valuable as new mortgages originated today at a higher rate.
they're going to have to hold them on their books.
Or take the economic loss.
Yeah.
Depends on if they have money coming in or not. If that's on a line of credit, then you have to pay it back. You have to sell it.
Yeah.
You have to take an economic loss. If you're a bank and you hold it, you don't care as long as somebody's paying you back. You're making less money than you could, but it's all good. It's arbitrage.
Right.
That's all really important because here's what's going to happen, okay? And I've been calling this since day one. I'm just going to tell you unilaterally this is how it's going to happen because I think people are just really under false pretenses here. Don't listen to social media realtors, okay? There's no economics course required for real estate, okay? If a realtor's been seasoned and they're good and you know them and they have expertise and they watch the news and they're really ingratiated in the economy, great. That's on you. But by far and away, the biggest mistake I see people make is relying on realtors for financial information, okay? Even some of the greatest real estate economists out there are so unbelievably fucking biased. Logan from Housing Wire is a great example. I love Logan. But man, is he biased towards the home builders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he just is. And I get it. You're in the industry. That's how you stay, abreast of what you do. And it's important for you that you have a spin and you have a narrative. Fine. Mortgage rates are not going to fall dramatically. Because if they do, it's going to ignite the housing market and drive inflation right the hell back up. The worst thing for any of us is if housing values go up. Because guess what? It's a lagging indicator, and it's going to drive inflation back up. And guess what? You're going to have more rate increases, not more rate cuts. The last thing we want as a society is to push people in to buying homes right now and to drive values up. That would be incredibly fucking dumb.
Right.
And just to show you how stupid it is and yet how prevalent, Saied, I've got a present for you.
For me?
For you.
Okay.
Haroon, on time. Our friend, our colleague over at the Ramsey Network.
The Ramsey.
The same day this is all happening on Monday, 4 hours after the market is freaking out and giving correction commentary, this was posted to his Instagram story. This is not something that somebody didn't push publish on that day, okay?
Yeah.
So somebody was so unbelievably fucking tone deaf that this was the shit that the old trusted Christian man, Dave Ramsey, was pimping out to every single person that followed him. Haroon, please be my guest.
You marry the home, you date the rate. Home prices are going to continue to go up because we continue to have a shortage of inventory. We don't know what interest rates are going to do. I would buy right now. If you're out of debt, you have your emergency fund, you have a good down payment, and you don't buy a house payment that's more than a fourth of your take-home pay on a 15-year fixed rate. That's our standard Ramsey stuff anyway. If you're in that position, I'd buy a home right now.
With a link below that says find an agent I trust. No disclosure this is an ad.
Come on, bro.
No disclosure that he's getting commissions on this find an agent I trust nonsense. No disclosure that he's paid. It came from a question, mind you, buy a home now or wait for interest rates to drop. Really?
Come on, guys.
How tone deaf can you be? And by the way, if your supposition is right that home values are going to go up and we have that much of a shortage in supply and that this is sustainable, then the Fed cannot cut rates.
Mm-hmm.
Because every real estate related individual who works in the context of the rate environment has the same underlying philosophy we've talked about on the show. And they spin this back around to everybody else because they hear it everywhere they go that they're in the real estate community. And this is what bothers me about networking groups, okay? Look, if you're in a networking group for realtors, okay, and you spend a lot of time around other realtors as your networking group,
okay,
or other people in real estate, you're not getting a fresh take on things.
How are they selling that to these realtors? Well, where's the benefit to them?
Oh, stay up to date, man. Chop it up with some of the best realtors in the game. Get a mentor who's a realtor. Stay connected. This is how you got to be in the space, because a lot of these real estate agents that are doing this, right? If they're doing it full time, they got more time. If they're doing it part time, that's fine. But they try to chop it up with many people in the business as they can, because if I'm in close proximity to somebody's network, I can get more references, business, whatever. They also go to other events and things like that, communities, HOAs, whatever you might name it. But they all tend to congregate.
Okay.
Right? And they have these little networking events, right? And they all get together and they all say stuff like, date the rate and marry the house. That is the most cliche, asinine expression.
It feels like they're the original hustle cultures.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Hustle culture is so overrated. So overrated.
Right?
It's just the whole idea of, look, if you're Hormozy, Alex Hormozy, and you legitimately like working, you're not telling everybody to work like you do, just say, I'm different. I want to work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week until I'm burnt out and done. I don't want kids. I don't want balance. This is just me. This is who I am. Fine. But is that passively aggressively selling you on hustle culture? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be like me, kids? You can do this.
Yeah, romanticize it a little bit. Oh, yeah.
And I would say that leads you to a really weird life.
It does. It really does. I can't believe he did this.
And Dave Ramsey does this. And again, how disconnected can you be where you're walking around saying, okay, housing values going to go up every year for the next. Okay, let's just say theoretically, this ran, everybody in the country saw. Let's just say he's got, I don't know, fans in Florida where there's a shit ton of supply and home values are going the other way right about now, depending on where you're at in Florida.
Yeah, and you just take his advice and you trust him.
You're probably wrong, Dave Ramsey. What if you're in Austin and you saw that?
And you're setting people up to walk into something that's upside down.
He didn't even bother to caveat, hey, some markets aren't going to. He said, no. If you meet all of our financial criteria, you should do this.
Yeah.
What about, hey, not every market should do this. There are some markets that are, we already know from the show, we've covered it multiple times now, there are massive corrected markets across the country.
That's the problem. When you hear stuff being reported on real estate, a lot of the times you're going to hear about it being reported on a national scale, right? Or sometimes it's broken out into 4 different regions, right? You want to take it down a step even further. You got to really, analyze, your neighborhood, maybe boil it down to the zip code that you're looking into, right? Like it's way more specific than that.
Well, in real estate agents, which, Ramsey really isn't anymore, even though he touts himself as having 30 plus years in the real estate business. Okay, fine. Their solution to the affordability crisis is always lower rates.
Yeah.
Lower rates, lower rates, lower rates. Everything's going to be more affordable if you lower rates. Okay, hey, fucker. At some point in time, homes get so expensive that a lower rate doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of difference.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, too, especially with his idea of making sure you qualify for a 15-year mortgage.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Only a fourth of your income for a 15-year. How many people in America do you think meet that criteria, pal?
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal situation, you look at credit card debt alone, I'm looking, where's it at? 1 point.
Oh, we'll cover that later on in the show.
Okay.
We're at an unprecedented level of credit card debt right now, as in never been touched before in history.
Yeah, so how many people actually meet that criteria? It sounds a little tone deaf.
And this is a person people trust, and he uses faith. This pisses me off to no end.
That's the part that
when you
bothers
use
me.
faith to sell yourself, and I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Oh, be careful.
Ryan Pineda's been doing this a lot recently. He's gone deep into the Christian culture space.
Mm.
And I know it's happening on social media. I know it's happening, okay? I can see it. Consumers are spending less.
Yeah.
Which means less consumer discretionary spending is going towards buying courses, buying bullshit. Consumers, even the uneducated ones, are going, you know what? I think you're full of shit, Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, or I don't have the money right now to be spending on any of this.
Because they don't.
Right.
They just don't. It's getting tight out there. And if you're going to sit here and say that it's not the case for most of America, you are either completely ignorant or in a very special, unique financial place, and good for you.
Right. I saw something that got posted by a guy that we both like, Humphrey.
Oh, yeah.
What's his last name?
I don't know.
But we'll try to plug the channel in the show notes. But I saw something that he posted that he took from Fidelity that I think is really valuable. And he labeled it, one of the wealth killers that nobody really talks about. Mm. So given the information that we saw earlier this week on Monday, right, you can see a lot of people maybe starting to think, whatever little money or whatever money I have invested in the stock market, maybe I pull out now and wait for it to correct again, and then I'll get back in once things stabilize a little bit more.
There it is, Humphrey Yang.
Humphrey Yang, there you go.
Thank you.
So he posted this, and I thought this was...
This guy's really good. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's good. He knows how to deliver the message quickly and straight to the point.
He comes off genuine, though. He's not like one of these guys who's like touting, I got all this amazing experience.
I really like his...
He's very matter of fact.
I really, really like his... And it's all... I mean, we share a lot of the same ideology here, right?
Except he's got a shit ton more subscribers than us.
He capitalized at the right
613,000 followers.
Way more on YouTube, I think.
On the grams.
Way more on YouTube.
Really? He's got a million on YouTube? What has he got?
Yeah, I believe so. Over 1 million on the tubes.
On the tubies?
Yeah. Anyways, so he posted this, and I thought
1.3 million plus. Wow.
Yeah, and I thought this was really, really important for everyone to know. So during times like this, like we've talked about it routinely on the show. Some of us have gone viral on TikTok. That compound interest is the name of the game.
Haroon, have you gone viral on TikTok?
No, actually, yes.
Oh yeah, Odin has actually.
What?
Yeah, that's a little side story. Stick around to the end of the show. We'll get into it.
Oh, the wedding stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into it because I want to really nail this point home real quick.
I'm the only person who hasn't gone
viral. It's okay. You got more followers than both of us.
Not really.
So, total views, you've gotten a lot.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's time in the market, how long you can, stay in the market. Let's just assume somebody invested $10,000, okay, in January of 1980 until December of 2022, okay? So I know that's a long time. Listen to the stat. This is absolutely mind-blowing, okay? If you invested all that money, you would have over $1 million if you never took it out of the market. But a lot of that money is made on a handful of days. Okay? If you were to take that money out on the 10 best days over that 42-year period, you would have $671,000. Think about that for a second. 10 days out of those 42 years make up that's a 38% difference.
But this is why so many people who day trade get fucked.
That's why they get fucked. And that's why we routinely say on the show, invest in the long term. Don't try to time the market.
Don't try to guess those 10 days.
Don't try to, exactly. You have to have your plan.
No one's that good.
No, yeah, you got to commit to your plan. That's what Warren Buffett says, right?
Yeah.
Once you've made up your mind, you're going to stick to your plan. It's invested for the long term. You have your own goal down the road. You move forward. Listen to this. It gets even worse. If you miss, that was if you miss 5 days. My bad. It was even worse than that. Not 10 days. If you miss 5 days, it goes from 1 million to 671,000. If you miss 10 days, it drops down to, let's see here, 483,000. Bro, that's over 50%. Think about that. 10 days.
Yeah.
Right? If you miss 30 days, you're down to 173,000.
Yep.
So, like I said, it's all about time in the market. Don't try to guess those days. Just stick to your plan, and you should be all right.
Anecdotally, we covered a long time ago how Warren Buffett had moved to cash. And that social media post got so much negativity. He always carries cash. You don't know what you're talking about. You're clearly not a Berkshire Hathaway fanboy. Yeah. And I was like, bro, he's moving to cash. He's just doing it slower over time.
And we were talking about how he's holding more cash than he had in
He just liquidated half of his largest holding, which is Apple, which, by the way, liquidated half, still has half, still his largest holding. That's how big it was.
Yeah, baller.
Right. So, anyway, liquidated half his, moved to cash.
Mm-hmm.
He's dragging more cash now than ever before in history. So that everybody who's out there on social media, for those of you who did comment and were one of the haters, fuck you. We were right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I think he also holds more treasury bills than the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Think about that's
I'm just saying.
That's kind of crazy.
But he went that hard into cash. What is it that he's afraid of or concerned about or thinks is a buying opportunity that he's preparing for? Right?
Right.
I mean, he's not doing it because he wants to retire.
Right. If he's holding more treasury bills than the Federal Reserve, then you got to think he thinks treasury bills are at its peak. So they're going to be coming down, right?
He thinks right now you're going to get your most return, right? And he probably thinks that having that access to liquid cash or liquid equivalent will give him the best opportunity to buy investments as they come up. So for those of you who are listening to the show right now, you're saying, okay, Chris, is now a good time to buy a home? No.
Yeah.
No, it is not. Chris, is now a good time to buy stock? No, it is not. You have not seen the bottom of the stock market. This correction was only a brief warning sign, okay? We're not there yet, and you shouldn't feel comfortable that we are there yet. Even if you get a rate cut in the rhetoric that's going to be climbing, there are still things that will be volatile in the market. Don't expect to make any big investments until after the election. And I would go so far as to say Q1 of January, February, March of 25.
Yeah. Because I think Goldman Sachs, as they've updated their predictions at a chance of a recession from 15% up to 25%.
Yeah.
And our boy Jamie over at JP Morgan, Uncle Jamie,
gave an interview today from a golf course. Bastard.
Baller.
Yeah.
This guy is
50% probability of recession.
Yep.
Okay, if JP Morgan, the largest bank in the world, led by one of the sexiest motherfuckers you know, right?
6'3", right?
6'4".
6'4".
Yeah. He just... And a good head of
Have
hair,
to be.
son of a bitch. He didn't pay for it like I did. Just very unfair. He and his team, in all of their intelligence collectively, are saying there's a 50% probability of recession.
And not just all their data. How much data they got?
They're paying tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars for data. I'm probably in the $100 million range.
Yeah.
For just data.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Let's be clear here. If they think there's a 50% probability, a coin flip of a recessionary economy, don't try to tell me that you think you know it's a good time to invest.
I think he's obviously, people in their position, they know very, very well that a lot of this is controlled by what is the narrative spin, right?
It used to be. I think we're in a different time.
Listen, because look, more and more people talk about, even though the Fed is not supposed to act based on what's going on in the market, and they know that financial assets are inflated and they do need to come down, right? There needs to be a little bit of a correction. They're not supposed to act based on a huge market correction, right? But if they feel like that market crash could, get worse, or it can influence other things like, people losing their jobs, then yeah, they have to start paying attention to the rhetoric because it could affect a lot of things. It can influence behavior to your point earlier.
All right. So, Haroon, I would like you to chime in here on some human behaviors.
Ooh,
I have a theory. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
For the record, everybody, Chris was trying to set up Odun's camera before the show tonight so you can all see his sexy face.
I really was.
But Odun put the presidential veto down.
He did. He slapped me right in the face with it.
He said no.
He
Well,
said,
the
get your
logic was
ass
there.
in there.
The logic was there.
No, you were not wrong.
Odun didn't want to stay here till 1 a.m.
It's probably smart for all of our sakes at this point in time. But it does need to be said that you vetoed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a factual thing.
Well, the best part about it is you would have started doing it. Saied and I would just be watching. Eventually, we'd take our phones out, and then you would get mad and be like, "You guys can fucking help at least.
Yeah, fucking Google something, bro. Figure it out.
Pick up a screwdriver. Do something."
This conversation has been listen, you also weren't wrong when you did say those things, but I just want you to know that's what you say. That is what you say.
I see what you did there. Let's stay on point.
Okay, got it.
Because
All right.
I'm going to start crying if I keep going farther down this path. I have feelings, goddammit. I believe that society's attention span has been drastically changed in the last 5 to 10 years.
Thank you, Instagram.
Thank you, social media. And I
It
blame
all started with Snapchat, bro. Snapchat were
No,
the
no, no, no,
original
no, no.
fuckers.
I think people miss where it really started.
Okay.
It started with the infinite scroll. It used to be you got to the bottom of a page, you had to click forward to go to the next page. And then somebody, in their infinite wisdom, decided that when you get to the bottom of the page,
Refresh.
it's just going to keep going.
Yeah, refresh it, baby.
The infinite scroll is what fucked us all,
yeah.
right? And Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, it's all infinite scroll, baby.
I gotta pay attention to this because it's happening on my phone. Where there's some ad that somebody's pimping out right now that is
Sex toys?
It's showing like infinite scrolls and it just starts speeding up more and more and it's trying to get you to stop. Someone's paying for it, and every time I see it, I just turn off my phone. I'm like, oh fuck, they're right. And I've been scrolling for a minute now. I need to turn this off. The next time it comes up, I'll screenshot.
Yeah, I
it and
really
I'll
don't have a good idea what you're talking
I'll
about.
send it to you. I don't know what they're pimping out, what they're selling, but it's effective.
You know what I'm getting a lot now? This guy on YouTube is like, if you're making over $150,000 a year,
Who is this
and
guy?
you're not shredded,
I'll pay me. I'll get you shredded.
pay me. I will get you shredded, or you won't pay me at all.
And he's
or
always in some weird setting,
in like the pool with a hat on,
the Bahamas somewhere.
on his phone.
Yeah, I was like, this guy.
Like, are you trying to act casual but not casual at all? I'm very confused.
No, but you know what the best part about that is? I've actually called one of them because I'm just like, what?
Oh my god,
No, because I want to know.
I
'cause
can't
Chris,
let that go.
Come on.
You're baiting me.
I did one of those a few months ago and I shared it with you. Remember, it was like one of these coaches. I was like, oh, let me just see how far they go and like what it is.
So you called him physically?
Yeah, yeah. So
And
I
you're like, ring, ring, and he
No,
was
I
like,
filled out
bro,
the-
dude, guy.
How far do you go?
Yeah, I go
Yeah.
this far.
no. So basically, he's like, I'll get on a call with you once a month to just check in. I'm gonna give you a workout list of what you need to do. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And you're gonna motivate me? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I'm gonna call in, check in. Like, you take a picture, we'll FaceTime, see how you're looking, and I'll give you some advice.
I've done that before.
Chris knows what that's like.
No, I've done it. Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
it. Let me tell you, I've done it with some of the best in the business for like fitness coaches.
Mhm.
And even then, when I knew they were really good and they did get me shredded, I felt like I was getting ripped off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you talk to them once a week for a check-in.
Mm-hmm.
You send them photos once a week, which, by the way, is very weird sending photos of yourself.
Part of it, though, is kind of like it's a way to keep yourself honest, too. You know you're going to have to check in with this person.
Yeah, but at some point, oh God, there's so many side conversations I can have here. Look, kid, GLP-1 solve for this problem. It is outsourced discipline,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't have to think about being disciplined on your diet because you're going to take an injection once a week, and guess what? The discipline's cooked into your physiology now.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about eating too much. You're just not going to do it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay? So then you got to worry about getting your protein and your exercise.
I do know, but that's really dangerous, though, because I do know people that have reversed on that, even on it. And so you still have to be careful.
Reverse on what?
Like, they still eat, right? And they eat poorly.
On GLP-1s?
Yeah. Yeah. There's still a certain level of discipline. Like, some people
You
will.
would have to really make an effort, man. You're just not hungry at some point.
Yeah. Odun and I, we know. I don't want to name this.
You don't
person.
out anybody in the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm talking about, though.
Does he really?
I
Yeah.
think he does.
They're probably on a minimum dose. They probably should go up to like 50 milligrams or 50 units, something like that. But
Yeah.
let's not lose track here. So I do think that society's perspective and focus on things has changed dramatically. And I think it goes back 5 to 10 years. We've been conditioned to just not care about shit as long as we used to. Back in the Great Depression, October 29, 1929, that print came out that day. The market's crashing. Oh my God. And for an entire fucking day, that was all everybody said. Right? The radio at the time was like,
Right.
oh, oh my God, the market's falling apart. The market's falling apart. And everybody's operating off of whatever news they were getting about what happened. It was very static.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, and I had the newspaper up at my house, you know this, October 30th, 1929, the day after, it was all rosy. And I've always had that newspaper because I believe that it tells you what people are trying to manipulate your perspective. And it also means the bad times are only as bad as you let them be, right?
The sun will come out
tomorrow.
So yeah, good job.
Haroon, that was your. Come on, bro. Haroon, that was you.
I thought that was it.
No. Oh, Annie would be so upset.
Yeah.
So, but now that life cycle of bad news, good news is happening at such a faster cadence.
Yeah, man.
That you go onto social media and people were literally, the day that the market was talking, the traditional media was talking about correction.
Mm-hmm.
Social media was talking about buy opportunity, bro. Let's go in. Dave Ramsey's pimp 4 hours after the news came out.
I know, man.
Dave Ramsey's pimping. Now is the time to buy.
Obviously, it can be very dangerous, but I feel like I think I mentioned this several months ago when it was one of the latest like UFO sightings or something, right? And I was just like, dude, back in the day, this would get so much coverage. How does nobody care about this?
Because everybody goes UFO. No, it's a drone.
We talked politics already, so we've already been flagged. So fuck it, right?
Yeah.
Like Trump getting shot at. How is it not still a topic of discussion?
Bro, the whole world was over like a week later.
Yeah, bro. What do you mean? A couple of days later, it was just like it wasn't even showing up in some people's feeds.
Yeah, I know. That's how polarizing we've gotten.
Like the ability of like Americans to not give a fuck is like at an all-time high.
It's an all-time high.
Yeah.
And it's like the ability to go, he didn't die.
Yeah.
But did you die?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's like, but did you die? And that's the thing that blows me away.
And it's like you hear these cases, celebrity cases of like, all these wrongdoings.
People literally died when Trump got shot.
Yeah, seriously.
And meanwhile, everyone's like, shit, he wasn't really shot. Dude, there's fucking photos of blood on his ear.
Yeah, well, whatever.
It came from somewhere, bro.
Somebody died, though.
Somebody did die.
Yeah, man.
And we're just gonna turn. You're like, you know what? It's all good.
And then even then, like you read an article about a celebrity doing something like terrible, right? We'll say Diddy, okay, and then nobody like overreacts until the video comes out. What, we need a video to come out for it to be like? I mean, come on, man.
And the worst part about it is like cancel culture came in and literally legitimately canceled some careers.
Yeah.
And you're like, did they really deserve it though?
Yeah, man.
I mean, I feel like we've gotten to extremes now.
Yeah, and hopefully the pendulum swings back a little bit on some of that stuff.
I don't know that it's going to.
Yeah.
But speaking of pendulum swinging, I got a little Investopedia piece here about recessions and an indicator. So this was 6 days ago. Again, today's the 7th, so this was the 1st of August, so the first of the month. If Friday's labor market report shows the unemployment rate ticked up in July, it could trigger the SAM rule, spelled S-A-H-M, SAM, if you want to be, ethnic sounding. SAM rule's recessionary indicator, yet another in a long line of recessionary indicators like the yield curve. What is the SAM rule recession indicator? Haroon, if you could scroll up there on the Investopedia side for me for a second. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The SAM rule is a recession indicator created and named after macroeconomics Claudia Sam. According to the SAM rule, the early stages of recession is signaled when the 3-month moving average of the U.S. employment rate is half a percentage point or more above the lowest 3-month moving average unemployment rate over the previous 12 months.
Okay, that makes sense.
The unemployment rate has steadily ticked up in recent months to the point where the SAM rule is on the verge of being triggered. A 4.2% unemployment rate in July would mean that the 3-month moving average has risen half a percentage point since last August. And there's a chart here which Haroon will bring up, which gives you a good indication of what that looks like. Now,
problem with that, though, is the unemployment rate came in at 4.3%.
It did.
So higher than that 4.2%.
It did. So, dude, kill my buzz, bro. That's where I was going with that.
Oh, my bad.
Damn.
I got too excited, bro.
Thunder stealer, bro.
Yeah, that's what I do out here. Thunder thighs, stealing thunders.
Can you actually make them clap? Like if you were to slap them together, would they?
How do you make
You
it
know
clap?
how to make them clap.
Show me how you make it clap.
I don't know. I don't have enough meat.
No, show me though.
I'm not a pear, bro.
Dude, we're never gonna get sponsored by anyone else.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we gotta clean up the show, man. If we're gonna do this, we gotta.
Clapping thighs is bad?
I just told you to turn it around and make it clap. Come on, bro.
I think you just wanted a visual example to clapping thighs. Were you referencing something that you saw in a strip club, Saied?
What's a strip club?
What?
What is that?
I think it's where you get strips of like meat, like a Brazilian restaurant or something.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make
Or like,
sense.
falafel or something.
Yep. A falafel.
Your people, you know what I mean?
My people.
I went to halal guys the other day. When did their meat turn into rat meat? It's so bad.
I know you gotta stick
been a
just a
while.
New York stand.
The halal guys, like the franchises, like it's really bad meat.
Is it?
It's not good. I mean, I ate there and I was eating the whole time, looking at it, going like, "Is this even like cow?" Like it was very questionable.
Oh, the gyro meat. Yeah. I mean, I still like
Gyro,
Chipotle.
Euro, bro.
I like Chipotle still. I know you don't.
Too salty. I feel like I get there and I get all puffed up. You can't tell the difference because of your body weight, but mine, I can tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't that far removed from you, bro. Stop your little science project.
When happened? Okay, first of
Stop
all,
your little science
it's
project.
chemistry, okay? And when are you going to get on some stuff?
I am on some stuff.
I'm such a bad human being. I'm literally telling everybody you need injections every night.
Yeah, no, I saw your posts. They're pretty good.
Which one? The BPC 157?
All of the shits that you've been taking.
That's right, America. We're sponsored by transcendcompany.com/THSP. Go there, click that link, transcendcompany.com/THSP. It's in the show notes. It's in the bio. It's everywhere you can look that we have commentary, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just click on the link, go get your blood work done. Even if you decide not to go with them, that helps the show out. And you'll have some information about your own lab work to know if you're healthy, not, or normal or not.
Yeah, Chris isn't doing us any favors by wearing a sweatshirt, but he's actually like, dude,
I don't say it.
you're pretty jacked, bro.
No, that's awkward.
Yeah, I'm just being
That's
honest.
awkward. I don't feel any physiologically different.
No, that's not. You're being disingenuous now.
No,
that's
I don't feel
That's you just trying to be modest.
No, my weight hasn't changed.
What?
It hasn't changed.
Yes, you did. You told me that you dropped 20 pounds and gained 5 pounds of muscle.
No, since the last time I did it, it hasn't changed since then.
Oh, okay.
That
was like
Haroon, why are you laughing?
that was
bro?
literally a week and a half ago. Of course,
I
your weight
know.
hasn't changed from
It was
a week and a half
It was
ago.
like 4 weeks ago, actually.
That's not
It
true.
was like 4 weeks ago. I've got body dysmorphia. It's so bad. Cold plunging, amazing, by the way.
No, it's not.
It is. It's not because I'm losing weight or I'm like having physiological benefits. There's just something tangibly euphoric afterward that you carry with you through the day.
Yeah, so because you carry it through the day, it would only make sense to do it in the morning and not do it at night, right?
There are some people who do it at night because they said it helps them sleep better. I don't. I get it because there is like a calm, so it's not uncommon for me. My wife hates this shit. It's fucking terrible.
Just
What?
how much you hate dong. I watched that fucking shit that you posted on
The
Instagram.
dong? What?
Oh, is that your reference to a sound bath?
Is that
Dong?
what it's called?
It was a
You
sound.
guys went to the beach and you guys were eating sushi with the guys like rubbing a fucking bell.
Jesus.
I thought you say rubbing his belly on you.
Rubbing his dong.
It's not-
Dong.
So tell me about this. I don't know what a sound bath is.
I didn't either until my wife forced me to go to one. So we've talked on the show that my wife's gotten a little woo-woo, little into. She went left on me.
Okay.
I blame Sarah at the office for doing this.
What do you mean, blame? You're saying it like it's a negative thing. Hold on.
Look, it started with a crystal in the house. Like it was just one crystal. Like it just, in the sunlight, in the windowsill, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have got more crystals and stones and emeralds and jade and shit in the house. It's wild. And I was like, oh, whatever. It's all good. I wear bracelets from time to time. Like, put whatever you want on my wrist, babe. I'll rock it. Like, it's all good. I don't believe it's going to heal me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe.
Yeah, you're fucked for life. I know.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucked. But look, I will say, I think the world has energy and light, and there's a lot of things that we don't understand as humans, even though we think we're so sophisticated, we don't fully understand. So I'm not writing off anything as complete bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
but there are levels to bullshit, okay?
Okay.
And when you hit critical mass for my bullshit meter,
I'm not giving myself the right to. I don't know enough about it to call it. I'm gonna respect.
that's the tack I took.
I'm gonna respect your wife's judgment here.
That's the tack I took.
I gotta hear about it. So,
But then things have gone a little sideways on me.
so what's a sound bath?
So the sound bath, these are done at the beach. In this particular instance, I'm pretty sure they're not all done at the beach. But basically, you go to the beach and they have different like gongs and like the Buddhist monk bells and
Okay.
all that kind of stuff. They do like I can't even describe because I don't even know the proper language for it. But all the bells and those bowls that like to make the sounds whenever you
okay.
you rim around them and it makes like the home.
Okay.
What is that even called?
I don't know.
Like the
But I know.
those are like
I have a
bell-like,
visual. I have
right?
a
Yeah,
visual, yeah.
In any event, you go and they basically play what you would probably commonly refer to as like Buddhist monk style music or sounds.
So
right?
is this supposed to help you meditate, or what is it?
It's supposed to be very calming. Most people just lay down and listen to the sounds of the beach and listen to the sounds of this going on in the background, and they enjoy it. And I will say it is peaceful, right? I even took my son once with my wife, and my son and I just made sandcastles out in the back. Yeah, I was like, whatever. Like, he had a good time. He was quiet. He was a great boy. And, whatever. But now it's permeated and gotten a little weird. So the last time we went, Haroon saw the video that I posted. I just ordered sushi. I had it delivered to the beach, and she woke up, and I'm eating sushi.
Oh, it's so good. Just looking at his face too. He's just like, why am I here?
Yeah, I got sugarfish, bro. I was going hard at it too.
Go hard.
And there was all these people like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not trying to disrespect it. I can still hear the sounds. I figure sushi's a quiet food.
Yeah, I can multitask, bro.
Yeah, it's quiet food. Like,
Yeah.
does it impact you if I'm chewing? No.
Yeah.
You're still hearing your gongs and shit, right?
You're being a little disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful. I was there. I participated. I'm on the blankets too.
Okay,
Like we're in this space.
All right.
And first of all, shame on all those people for not getting high. Y'all should all be high. If you're gonna do this,
it would probably. I mean, you don't know they're not. I mean, there's gummies for this.
no, you guys should be getting high together. Like everybody should be passing around joints and shit. Like I don't know what y'all do to get like
So
be
there's
happy.
one person like leading the way.
No, there's like 3 people playing like this wall of instruments basically that's set up on the beach, and there's people on both sides of it, in front of it and behind it.
Right.
And there's people passing by on the boardwalk, basically watching this and like listening in and coming by, going like, "What is this?" They do it like I think once a week. And we get down into the sand. You do this whole thing. A lot of my wife's friends have gone. Everybody likes it. Look, I get it. I get the draw.
Okay.
It's very peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's some things happening in my household at the moment which are weird.
What do you mean?
I
mean, but you said it on the show. I can't just let it go.
I know. Okay.
I have to ask.
So
I didn't want to take it here, but you brought it. You brought it here.
It's all right. 4 nights ago, my wife said,
"Oh, dude, are you buckle up, bro?
Yeah.
You ready?"
Wait, I don't know this?
No, you don't know this.
You don't know this,
I just
man.
heard this shit today.
So-
Honestly, you got to buckle up.
You should have seen the look on Saied. It was so dumbfounding to Saied, he didn't have a response. He was like, "The fuck you say?"
No. I'm very respectful. I
know. I get it.
I gotta know.
It's hard to be respectful in this case.
I gotta know how this turns out after, like in a week from now.
I'm pretty sure it's just going to turn out me smelling weird. But so my wife says to me the other day, like 4 nights ago, she's like, "Hey, we're gonna take a shower tonight." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go."
Sign me up.
Yeah, you go wash me, right?
Yeah,
You're a husband. Your wife says you can take a shower together. You're in.
Naturally think of coming to America.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was. Solid reference.
Yeah.
The fact that Haroon's not laughing back there is disappointing.
Yeah, I know.
Haroon, shame on you.
I'm just excited for the story. I get it.
Okay, so I'm editing podcast content on the computer that we have in the living room, so I can see her in the kitchen. And she came home later that day. This is on Sunday. She came home with a bottle of rum. We don't really drink anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And she had oranges and she had mint.
Okay.
So I was like, "Oh shit, we have mojitos?
Yeah.
We're gonna have mojitos and take a shower together?"
Right.
Sold.
Yeah,
So I don't even care about drinking at this point.
What's a special occasion?
Let's just see what happens. Who's blacking out first?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say what's gonna happen when you do.
Yeah. Okay.
I was excited. She's like, no. This is where I'm cooking. And I was like, "Oh, that's anticlimactic. We're still showering together." She's like, yeah. And because my wife doesn't say let's shower together, because let's be honest, I'm 6'5", like 230 something.
Okay.
And she's tiny and I take up a lot of space and she doesn't get a lot of water. It's just not ergonomically correct. And we
Right.
don't have a fancy shower. So
Okay.
whatever.
Right.
So as I'm getting ready for bed, she starts peeling oranges, putting orange rinds in this concoction. There's some rum in it and there's some like cinnamon in it. And I can smell it. It's very aromatic. I can smell it. I'm like, "Oh, you cooking? I thought we were going upstairs." She's like, no, this is for us. I said, I'm sorry, what? She's for us. We're gonna shower with it. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" She's like, it's for good luck. I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's for what now?" And I'm already knowing that this is the woo-woo stuff gone left, right? Like
So
I know
you've
this
already
is,
picked up on it.
Yeah, this is sound bash. So I'm trying to be a respectful, good husband.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm oh, okay, cool. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do we do with it? She goes, "You'll see." That's never a good answer when your wife tells you you'll see.
I don't know. It could go either way. You're like, no?
I knew there was going to be no pee-pee touch. Right? Like I knew pee-pee touch was off the table. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll see. So we get upstairs, and she has this pot, big ass pot, and like a big cup.
Mm-hmm.
It's warm fluid with the orange rinds removed, but in the leafy mint leaves removed. But this magical concoction, whatever the hell is in it, and a lot of rum.
So walk me through. She brings this up into the room. You're in the room, right?
She puts it in the shower.
You see it go into the shower. You're just watching her putting, and you're just standing back waiting for the explanation.
So
Are you naked?
Yeah. Were you?
Haroon, I didn't know you wanted a visual.
Yeah. So I'm trying
No,
to.
I'm just trying.
I'm trying to
no,
see.
it's
I'm thinking. How are you being good husband and not being weird about it? Because if that were to happen, I'd be like, I need an explanation.
Like I need details.
I need
right?
details now.
Like, what kind of witchcraft is this? Does this make parts of me bigger or smaller? That's all I need to know.
Yeah. Are we gonna be howling later?
Yeah,
What's going on?
like, does this give me money?
Yeah.
Are we? Was this OnlyFans?
Yeah. Are we starting an account?
Yeah, we're the Fruit OnlyFans team.
Right.
So I didn't know. So she gets in the shower, right, and then there's this bucket things on the ledge in the shower because we have like a big seating area thing in the shower. And she gets in the shower and she's like, I'm gonna shower. Just come in whenever you're ready. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe pee-pee touch.
Yeah. Now you're
Like,
back on. Now
yeah,
it's back
now
on
I'm
the table.
It's very like.
So again, you're just sitting on the bed, like
No.
just
She always gets in. She
observing? Like,
takes
what
showers
the
late at night.
fuck?
I typically shower like earlier. I know Saied thinks that I'm a dirty bastard, but I actually typically don't shower late at night. I usually shower when I get home,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll go to bed because I want to be able to go to bed pretty quickly. I usually go to bed earlier than she does, and I usually get up earlier than she does. Right? So
Yeah.
In any event, she gets in the shower. She washes. She asks me to come in the shower, and I come in the shower, and she was like, all right, well, go ahead, wash up. And I'm like, what's with the bowl? She's like, we're gonna use that afterward. So I quickly, I'm like, I already took a shower earlier, so I just, get moist.
So she's just standing in the corner, just watching you shower in the shower.
Well, I mean, she's turned on by it, obviously. Look at me.
Oh.
I mean, stupid.
Clearly.
Yeah. And then this is where shit got weird.
Okay.
Wait,
It's not weird yet.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ask a question. What's up?
I was gonna say it wasn't weird yet.
No. You haven't even gotten the magnitude. I know you think the story's weird and you're like Chris is anticlimactic.
You're literally scratching the surface.
Yeah, you're not even there yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the shower, turns the water off, and she starts pouring this concoction over herself and over me.
Like over the head.
Not over the head, but over like the neck, the shoulders, everything else. And then she's like, rub it on yourself.
Like.
And of course, I'm a pervert. I'm like, you rub it onto me. Start with the center. Work your way out. my humor was not appreciated in the moment.
Yeah, you need
She's
to be
like,
serious.
You're not taking this seriously. And I'm like, how am I supposed to take you basting me like a turkey serious?
I was gonna say, yeah, you're being basic right now. Okay.
Yeah, like the only thing you don't have is a baster.
Yeah.
And if you try to put it in my ass,
Honestly, though, I mean, that might be a great tool to use in this environment.
you don't know, right?
Yeah, right.
So I don't know how like your guys' showers, if they're like full wall to ceiling, but generally speaking, if you turn the water off and you're sitting there, you get cold,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this hot fluid is starting to cool down. I'm now getting cold. I just
Are you
want
explaining shrinkage, bro?
No, I'm not explaining shrinkage. I have a cold plunge at home. Shrinkage is unbelievable in the house. Call me any morning between 6 and 7 a.m. You'll see shrinkage. So she's like, okay, well, now that we're done, you have to let it dry on you, air dry. I said, I'm sorry, what?
How does it smell, by the way? It smells good?
It smells good. It's like cinnamon.
At least there's that. Okay.
And like orangey mint. It smells like a mojito.
Okay. And you're sticky, I'm assuming?
It's not sticky because some of the alcohol burnt off, but it's not like clean.
Yeah, you don't feel clean.
No, I feel like there's a granularity of like all this, like, whatever the hell is in it is on you. And I'm like wiping it off of my hand, and she tells me I can't use a towel.
So you're just walking around waiting for it to dry?
And I'm like, the fuck? She's like, you can't use a towel, and you can't wear anything black. And I'm like, what do you mean can't wear anything black? I had black shorts set out. I sleep in shorts, right?
Is this why you wear it all white tonight?
Oh, no, this is just Jesus.
Okay.
I'm economics Jesus.
Economics Jesus, yeah.
So she was like, you can't wear anything black. So I take my wedding ring off because I have a black wedding ring.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm trying to be a good husband. Okay. At this point, anything I say is gonna start with this is bullshit.
Yeah, and you don't want to throw all that hard work to waste.
She put some effort into it, right?
No, and you put effort. You don't want to. You don't want to sacrifice all this time and effort. And be like,
you got committed.
yeah,
I'm in.
You're
right?
pot committed at this point.
So I get in bed feeling like a dirty, sticky son of a bitch.
In the sheets.
And then because I had to let it air dry on me. And I'm exhausted at this point. I'm absolutely tired. I have to get up and cold plunge in the morning. I got to get up and do the whole thing.
Okay.
Right? And I'm basically going to bed like a rotisserie chicken. Right? So I'm
in the nude.
No, I could wear shorts. I just couldn't wear black shorts.
Okay, that's right.
So I had to pick something else. So I finally get to sleep because I don't feel comfortable when I feel like this.
Wait, Chris.
Yeah.
At any point did you ask, like, hey, how long do I have to keep this on?
No, it has to dry.
It has to air dry on you.
So then he can take a shower the next morning?
I didn't take a shower till the next morning.
Yeah.
So I literally rode the bike when I woke up, got into the cold plunge, and then took a shower.
So the cold plunge has all this.
I had to drain the cold plunge.
Yeah.
I drained it today when I got home.
Yeah.
Fill it back up.
Got it. Okay.
Also, cold plunges, believe it or not, after like 4 or 5 days, no matter how good your filtration system is, the water isn't crystal clear. So I just literally dump out 100 gallons and refill it every.
Especially the one that you have, they don't want to put that extra stuff in there, right? Because they're like, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
In any event, so I thought I was husband of the year, right?
Honestly, yeah, you've definitely taken the cake.
I'm wearing the beads.
Yeah.
Right. I'm obviously helping pay for all this stuff. Right.
Okay.
I haven't even questioned any of it.
Yeah.
And there's been a massive amount of shit. I mean, there's literally like cabinets filled with beads, and like my wife's making them now.
At any point, did you ask where did this idea come from?
No, because she views it as self-healing. So I'm trying to be respectful. I don't want to cross any. If you feel better about you, more power to you, bro.
I like that.
I'm not that guy.
Okay.
Right. Like if you feel good, I'm not that guy.
Okay.
Now, when you come to me saying you want to go to retreat in Bali,
different
and
story.
you don't know anybody, whoa, you're jeopardizing your safety now. You just got into this, ease off.
Yeah.
But in this instance, whatever. If this makes you happy, fine. I'm a good husband, fine. Maybe I'll use it later on to explore some opportunities with you. You know what I mean? Remember that one time I did that one thing?
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So then the second night comes around, the next day, and I'm so glad that was in the past. And then I look over the stove and I smell the sauce cooking again. And I'm like, babe, why are you doing that again? She's like, we have to do it again. I'm sorry. What? We have to do it again.
Oh, my God.
Now I'm like, okay, the good husband's out the window.
This sounds dreadful at this point.
And I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, I know. I didn't put any cinnamon in this time. I just put cinnamon sticks, so it won't be as gritty this time. And I'm like, yeah. Bro, she made me do this 3 nights in a row. What the? It got to the point where I was using a hairdryer last night to dry myself off because I just wanted to go to bed.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go to bed moist.
What does this process start to finish? How much time are we committing here?
3 days. She's done.
No. I know, but the process of you getting in the shower, doing this.
It's like an hour.
Yeah, it sounds like an hour.
It's like an hour, dude. And like finally I'm like, what are we doing here?
How fast do you guys see the results?
Results of what? What
Bro,
results?
Yeah, what's the
Good luck.
Yeah, the good. Yeah,
I'm here with you guys. I'm not that lucky.
Come on, man.
You got a free hat.
Thank you. I appreciate the free hat you made. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we gotta show it. Yeah.
But-
Damn, bro. Well, hopefully there's. I'm trying to put it on. Yeah, we could do fortune cookies, bro. Like, what's wrong with fortune
It's
cookies?
gone so left, bro. And here's the thing. Look, I'm going to bank this, okay?
Honestly,
I know y'all thinking I'm a good husband. No, I'm a bad husband because let me tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you're going to leverage this
Remember
shit.
that one time I was open-minded and I tried some new shit for you? I didn't say anything bad?
Yeah.
Except on the podcast that you don't listen to? I'm going to need you to try something from me.
Honestly, I love and respect Joanna, and I'm sure that there's some science to this.
There's no science.
Yeah.
It's all witchcraft, bro. And my wife's becoming a witch.
No.
You're a nice guy, Saied.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
You're not that.
What the fuck?
Hey, best believe when there's some good fortune that rolls your way, she's taking all the credit.
Dude,
Wait, so
she's
I'm
like, that's me. That was, remember that
yeah.
shit?
It's those beads you're wearing. Those
Wait,
emeralds,
if
yeah.
She's trying to
Yeah.
heal herself. What does that have to do with you, though? Like,
They're a unit, bro.
no, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're a huge variable in this.
Look, man, here's the problem. Lane Norton, who's on the show a long time ago, Lane's a good guy. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him.
Shout out to Lane.
He got married to his second wife, and they were together for a while. She got really into Christianity, and Lane's a scientist,
Right, makes sense.
so he tried to be supportive, and then she went deep off on the deep end, and he got to the point where he couldn't support a whole lot. And then
this is
she
all
wanted-
public information. Everybody.
Yeah, no.
He's talked about it.
He's
yeah.
talked about it openly, and he couldn't support it. And I use that as kind of like a proxy. Like, you have to be able to support your spouse in what they believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
right? Even if you don't necessarily buy in 100%. I don't really like fully. I wouldn't go to a sound bath. I would go like once to experience it.
Mhm.
Would I go repeatedly? No. Will my wife go repeatedly? Yeah. Do I want to make my wife happy? Yeah.
Mhm.
Does that mean I'm not going to order sushi? No.
Yeah, what's more important here? Me believing in the sound bath or my wife seeing that I supported her? Yeah.
So if she feels supported, and she feels like she's healing, that's all good. But you better believe.
World's greatest husband. I feel like I'm handing the trophy over,
Nah,
bro.
I'm taking that trophy
Yeah,
tonight.
you took that shit.
Until you lather yourself up in the
Look
sugar
at you,
cane and
bro.
go to bed.
Oh, dude, how are you not getting on him for this shit? All the shit that I got to deal with, and look at him. He just spent 30 minutes telling the story about how he's the world's
you
greatest,
wanted to hear it.
world's
Stop.
greatest husband for 3 days, bro.
3 days. World's greatest husband.
Yeah.
Or biggest bitch.
You can't call somebody that,
come on, man. You're being supportive. I respect
Yeah.
you.
See,
Fuck
there you
him.
go. Yeah,
Fuck
fuck
you,
him.
no, you
Fuck him.
don't.
Hey, fuck that.
Bro, guess what we're going to be talking about on the drive home?
What a pussy that guy is.
He thinks he's going to bring it up again in the future. Hey, Joanna, remember that one time? Shut the fuck up, Chris.
I'm just waiting for one of you guys to
Suck
send
on
this
this
clip
coal right now.
send it to Joanna as a clip.
I respect it, Joanna. Keep it going. I want to hear more of this.
Yeah, well,
Get out
Odun, what you got for a second? You got any before you do that, if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, please head over, leave us an honest 5-star review. Does a lot for the show if you enjoyed that story. If you're watching us over on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell, hit that like button. Let's get this video out to as many people as possible. Make sure you do all the moist, goody good stuff.
and use rum, oranges, and cinnamon in making your moist goody good stuff.
I mean, absolutely. It's good luck.
We put that potion.
That potion, boy. What you got, Odun?
Nah, man, it's 110.
You've been so lazy tonight, bro. First, no camera setup. Now this.
What, you got nothing?
No, I got some.
Give
me one piece of pop culture.
Somebody at the office had mentioned, Odin, can you please pull this up? There's this game at the Olympics.
I saw this. So sad.
There's this game at the Olympics called handball.
Yeah, not the same kind of handball though.
Not the same handball we grew up with playing. What is this game? I don't even know anything about it. I want to explore it on the show.
Yeah, go click the.
It's like, how is this a sport that we've never even heard of?
Yeah, Spain survives a heated thriller. Yeah, that's
and
the
like,
one.
does the U.S. team not even have a team? The U.S. doesn't even have a team for this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
Look at
that
that. What about this guy? Legend.
Oh, the Turkish sharpshooter.
Yeah.
What a
That's great.
stud. I'm a natural.
Did he
I'm
win?
a natural
Did he
shooter.
win gold?
Silver.
Baller.
He won silver. Came out there, one hand in his pocket, just shooting away.
So what is this?
Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah. Handball. So it's like there's goals in the end. It's like water polo, but on the ground. Is that what this is?
Kind of, yeah.
There's basketball. They're
And they
dribbling?
just run. Like I don't get it.
You could dribble and pick up the ball. They're celebrating,
And they just like jump in the air like they're dunking on somebody, but they're just like hopping.
bro.
Look at this. Look, whammy.
Can you tackle?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. It's not like rugby.
I'm not gonna lie. This looks like a lot of fun for your 20s, but some serious ACL injuries.
This looks like some Aztec shit, by the way.
How is everybody not blowing out their Achilles doing this?
Look at this. Like doing crossover moves and shit.
What is that?
I don't understand.
Look at hustling
This
back.
guy.
He's hustling back.
Look at that weird pivot.
Look at that box out. Oh, so you got to stand outside the 3-point line to shoot it in.
Do you really?
I mean, look, they're shooting it from outside. You can't get inside
This
that
is
line.
basically soccer with your hands.
Do you see that guy had a nose guard?
Yeah.
Does that count as a crossover right here? Look at the defender on the far left.
Ooh,
Oh, fake. Look at that.
God,
Oh.
honestly, this
Look
is
at that. Look, see, he bounces off the guy's chest.
that's brilliant. Have you watched any of the Olympics?
No, I refuse.
Why?
So
Giant scam or what?
no. Normally, I'm a big Olympics fan, and I watch all the obscure sports. Right, everything on the Ocho.
Everything
And I got to tell you, man, like the way the Olympics started, the whole like religious undertones, the LGBTQ plus, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, we're taking something that's supposed to be just simple, and we're adding all these agendas to it. And then the boxing, I don't know if you read about the boxing fight.
Yeah, the girl, the guy situation.
They said it was a guy, but then there's been a bunch of stuff that's come out, and apparently
So does he have an XY chromosome or not?
no. So there is a Russian federation which at one point in time had some type of say in what the IOC did. They were cut off because they didn't find there's some kind of beef historically, and they're out of it. And this Russian group has been like effectively sending disinformation out to the media about people, including this girl. She was raised as a girl, right? Lived as a girl, has a passport as a girl. Maybe she's got some genetic issue, maybe she doesn't. But at what point do you say that's not a female?
Was she taking testosterone?
No.
Okay.
But she does produce naturally higher testosterone for whatever her disorder is,
Oh, okay.
right? But again, that's not like her chemically supplementing that. That's not, in my mind, that's not somebody who's transgender, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody who just has a weird genetic freak. But LeBron James is got a genetic freak body.
Yeah.
You gonna penalize him?
No. Right.
Right? I mean, at what point
I
do
guess
you say,
I don't know all the facts behind that story.
I read a bunch of stuff on it just trying to, you want to,
You feel like you know enough to really talk about it?
a little bit. Here's the thing is I saw somebody refer to her as intersex, not transgender.
Mm.
And I was like, I don't really know what that means, so I decided to look it up.
Yeah.
But this sharpshooter, this Yusuf Dikek guy, the
Look at the lenses that everyone else is wearing, and this guy's just like, I got this.
like super futuristic. What I don't understand, look at that. Look at the target. Jesus, right dead smack in the middle.
That's the real life 007.
I don't understand. Yeah, this is a trend. This
was an article that came out too. They were just talking about how much she looks like Princess Diana. And
she has the
everyone
same
was
facial
like,
bone structure. This is the
Yeah.
boxer, yeah.
And
This is
everyone's like, Princess Diana was one of the prettiest.
Iman Khalif. Yeah.
They're saying she looks like Princess Diana, so why is everyone saying
Like her bone structure, facial expression.
Bone structure is the same. If you look at her, like look at Google Iman Khalif as a girl or a young girl. She looks like a normal young girl.
I think people are really sensitive to this too, especially because of that whole swimmer incident.
Well, dude, here's the thing. Okay,
Right.
I don't know if you saw this. Haroon, see if you can pull up the fight. The fight was 46 seconds long.
She got punched once in the face.
She got
and-
punched once in the face and just stopped the fight and said that was the hardest I've ever been hit.
She did?
No,
The other
the other girl,
her opponent.
the Italian girl.
Okay.
The Italian girl subsequently apologized and says she feels really bad.
For bringing all
here's
this
what I'm saying.
for bringing all the negative
You're a
attention?
boxer. You didn't get knocked out, okay? You didn't get dropped to the floor.
You got hit in the face.
You got hit in the face,
Yeah.
and it hurt.
That's what Mike Tyson said. Everyone's got a game plan until they get hit
Yeah,
in the
here you
face.
go. Here's the fight. So Haroon's pulling
This
this
is
up
the
right
fight?
now. Yeah, this is the fight. It's 46 seconds. That's Al Roker. That's yeah.
All right.
I used to love watching Today's Show.
Really, you're a Today Show kind of guy, huh?
Oh, big time.
But you won't watch sports.
Today's Show is just part of it. There you go. Is this it?
Oh, they're not
No,
going to show the
it's-
footage.
no.
They're not going to
Yeah.
show the footage.
So basically, I'll tell you what happened. So bell rings. She comes out. 46 seconds, less than a minute.
Yeah.
They exchange literally with one series of punches. What the Iman girl punches the Italian girl in the face once with the right hand. Right there. That's the punch. That's
Oh.
it.
That's pretty big. Yeah.
And then she basically went to her corner and stopped the fight.
She took one on the chin.
Yeah, she went to the corner, stopped the fight. She started
Wow.
crying.
Wow.
I get it. I get. You got hit hard, but
Yeah.
you're in Olympic boxing. You're supposed to get hit hard.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Now, if you had gotten completely destroyed, maybe different. But you're a professional athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trained to be a professional athlete. Many
Yeah, but
boxers going out.
you don't know what she thought when she was walking into the fight. Like if she was told and she was made to believe, that other side of the story, then that first hit's you're gonna start questioning it a little bit differently.
I did a bunch of reading on that, man. I'm not entirely sure what we're getting is accurate information.
Well, the problem here though is this all dates back to that collegiate swimmer, right?
Yeah,
people are
yeah,
really
yeah.
sensitive about that, and that story is
No, I'm sensitive to it too. Don't get me wrong. Like if you have an unfair competitive advantage because you are doing something to enhance yourself, like you said before we started the show tonight, I could not play as a professional athlete today.
Yeah.
Because of all the chemicals that I'm on.
Mhm.
I understand that. Like I own that.
Mhm.
Right? I'm enhanced.
Mhm.
Right? If you're enhanced, you shouldn't be allowed to do some of those things.
Yeah.
But if you are naturally gifted in a way, I look at what's a great example? Wembley.
Hmm?
Right? The basketball player, the French basketball player was
Oh,
Wembley.
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama, that girl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Victor Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
That is a very unusual physiology and a very rare set of physiological gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Should he not be allowed to play with everybody else?
No, if that was the case, then Shaq shouldn't have been able to play.
Right.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
You're going to tell me that, look at Shaq's physiology. He was genetically way bigger
and stronger than
everybody else.
Changed the entire game.
The entire game changed because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Will Chamberlain, the same thing, right? What do you gonna?
No, you just got to find a way to stop it. Yeah, I see, but that I don't think that's the issue. The issue here was whether or not like you could trust, the information that you were being told.
Honestly, you can't. You can't trust it.
I don't know. Maybe I don't want to get into this on the show.
Wow.
Look, I just think it shouldn't. There should be no crossover like that. If that the other side of the story that you're saying is not true.
No, 100%. There should not be crossover.
There's a reason why they're separated, right? Because of the advantages, right? So, I feel like that should be taken very, very, very seriously.
Because I completely agree with
It's really unfair to we'll talk about the girls' side of sports, right? It's really, really unfair to the girls who devoted their entire life to this.
100%.
And for the people out there that think that we should let these people in because you're trying to protect their feelings. What about
chemically enhanced? No way. You should not be allowed to participate.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that. Now,
it's unfair. It's unfair.
Here's what I'll say. Okay. What's the swimmer's name? Michael Phelps.
Okay.
Michael Phelps has an unusually gifted physiology.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because of his torso, right? Yeah.
His torso, the way he's built. He is built ideally to do what he did in the Olympics. To be a swimmer.
Yeah.
Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Unbelievably unique physiology that's really, frankly, built perfectly to be a world-class gymnast.
Yeah, there's a lot of effort that had to go into making her be a world-class gymnast, but also that does lend to her favor.
But she was genetically gifted. She couldn't have done that if she was 6'10".
Yeah, not as well anyways.
Yeah. So my point being is, if it's true that she's not, in fact, chemically enhanced, and she doesn't have male physiology.
Yeah.
And this is truly just her blood work is different because of a disease that she has. I don't know that I would say that she can't fight.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It's hard to prove.
All right. Saeed's very uncomfortable, so we're going to change topics.
I know.
You were very uncomfortable.
His ass is clenched.
Yeah, you can make diamonds down there. Diamonds are forever.
Oh, man.
I'll start calling him Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
Got a blood diamond up there.
What happened to Aerosmith?
So Steven Tyler had a vocal injury a while back, and they thought he was going to rebound from it, but apparently he's literally retiring. So Aerosmith will no longer do live concerts.
Before when Haroon pulled this up, you said this was very sad.
Yeah.
How old is Steven Tyler, bro?
He's older. I don't know how old he is.
Come on, man. I mean.
Yeah, but you don't want to see a musician who's been as iconic as Steven Tyler and Aerosmith.
I feel like 76 years old,
yeah,
bro.
Look at him, dude. He looks great.
No. He does. I mean, great might be a little bit of an overstatement, but he looks good. He looks good.
Does he look like a 76-year-old to you? No.
No, he does not look like a 76-year-old.
Does he look weird? Hell yeah. But he always looked weird.
Okay, but you got okay. At what point are you? Come on, man. If he's still performing at 75 years old, right? You got to think there's damage being done to the vocal cords that you can't fix.
Especially the way he sings.
Yeah, man. I mean, what did you expect was going to happen?
Okay, look.
Okay, at some point, you're going to have to change your resistance training workouts. You're going to have to do lighter and lighter weight. If you don't, you're going to fucking blow out your arm or your pec.
My titty.
Never your legs, because you don't work out legs, clearly.
I do work out legs.
No, you don't. You can't make it
clap,
clap, bro.
Guy.
Bro, the guy told you don't activate your glutes. That's what he said.
He did say that. He came up to me today.
Again?
Yeah. He's like, you haven't worked legs in a while. I've been watching you. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'll work on when you're not here, I swear. Look, I bet you Steven Tyler could fight the women's boxing team and be fine.
What is this?
Oh, this guy asked her to marry him.
Did she say no?
Yeah, so
she just won gold.
Yeah, she just won gold. Men's Olympic wedding proposal slammed for stealing the spotlight from medal-winning women. Had to make it about you. Basically, this poor, I think he's Chinese, right? This poor Chinese kid, after his girl wins gold.
He thought it was a good idea.
He asked her to marry him, and it got all the coverage. But the problem is, look at the expression on her face. It's hard to tell whether she's super happy or, like, super weird.
Yeah, are those tears of joy? Yeah, like, I feel like that might be one of those decisions you're like, in hindsight, when he thinks about it, like 20 years from now, he'd be like, fuck, I
don't think so.
I should have let her have that moment. Like, you could ask later, right? Come on.
It's the best moment of your life. You want to marry me?
I mean, there's no need for the
The problem was
the New York Post make a whole article about this. I mean,
she
come
couldn't
on.
say no. That's the problem. You can't say no when in that kind of like national attention.
Bro, imagine if she wanted to say no. Like now you're gonna like take this away from her? Oh, jeez.
Everyone's going down the path of researching the author.
New York Post.
He's like, who is this?
Come on,
bitch?
man. Like, this is not newsworthy.
Yeah, it is.
You want to know about this?
I mean, the title was inflammatory, but yeah, I mean, it's cute. Steve Martin reveals why he said
what he said when asked to play Tim Waltz on SNL.
Yeah, I didn't see this. This made all the headlines today. What was the answer?
He just said it was too hard. He's too funny of a guy. Like
Steve
Tim Waltz.
Oh, Tim Waltz is too funny?
Yeah, like just because of like everything that he said during his was it
During the rally?
Yeah, during the rally. Bro, he was on fire. Did you guys see that?
No,
Bro, he was taking
haven't
shots
seen
after shots after shots.
So
Was he?
let me just this is how fucking sad of a world we live in right now, okay? After Trump took the bullet in the ear into the iconic hand up photo, I was like, he won.
No,
Just give the man the election now. Why are we wasting any time?
It's kind of hard, right? I mean,
I thought it was a done deal. Like it was a wrap.
there's no way.
Trump wins. And if Kamala Harris is the nominee, I mean, Trump really won, right?
Mhm.
And then like the whole world's forgot about it.
Yeah.
The whole world is like, and Kamala Harris is a legit shot now.
Well, I
don't get it.
as iconic of a moment as that was for Trump, right? That he was able to stand up and do that,
Yeah.
right? Unfortunately for him, like that's not gonna swing votes over. Like that just it might make your base want to come out and support you more, but he already has that base.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know if that like swings anybody over, but nowadays, dude, look, at the end of the day, they got all of these politicians. I feel it feels kind of nice that we're allowing ourselves to get flagged for this episode, and then we will stop after this because we can actually talk about this. All they do is give sound bites on everything. That's all they do. All they do is they just have diarrhea of the mouth, and they talk about every topic, and they actually go both sides, right? That way, if they ever need a sound bite on something, they can just present that sound bite and say, "Look."
Well, it takes a really, I'm gonna call it is. It takes a really special, and I don't mean that in a good way, kind of person to want to be a politician.
Yeah, man.
You basically couldn't get famous doing something else. You weren't wildly successful as, I don't know, an attorney.
Mm.
As anything else than you were. So you wanted to get fame and recognition somehow. And yet these people who want fame and recognition get jobs that don't pay very well and somehow all become multimillionaires. It's textbook corruption.
Yeah. It's all, I mean.
And we play in the shade of gray like we ignore it. Politics have been fucked up since day one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been corrupt. The only difference now is people are more woken up to the corruptness and see it better for what it is, but it's also been weaponized against us to make us all polarized.
Yeah. Harris running mate, Governor Tim Waltz. Out of where? Minnesota, right? Yeah, that's right, Minnesota.
Oh, do you know how old he is?
No.
How old do you think he is?
I'll go 70.
Yeah, he's going to be 76.
60 years old.
He's 60?
Yep.
Yo, he needs to go to Transcend.
Brad Pitt is older than him. Trump could be his daddy.
Trump could be his daddy. Probably. You know, that's what he's going to say. I'm your daddy. What?
He's 60?
I need all the debates.
Jesus.
I want to
see
see
how
him.
fucking old Biden is.
I want to see.
I'm confused now.
I want to see him and JD Vance go after it. Problem is JD Vance. He's got a mouth on him too, man. He can.
I can see him saying, "Listen, JD, you came from the hood, right? I'm gonna put you over my knee, and whoop your ass, boy. Get over here, tiny.
Yeah, come over here. Oh man,
I want to see The Rock run.
No, I don't want to see that.
I do. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking, JD Vance?
Oh, bro, if Trump can handle a rally, imagine what he could do with the rally. Oh, it'd be game over.
Yeah, people's eyebrow in the alley.
Rally? Yeah. Him or Logan Paul. Someday, you know that's in the playing cards. Right?
I was so hoping that Kamala Harris would pick The Rock. It would be just as ridiculous, but it'd have a better opportunity.
There's no way he would serve under her. Come on, stop it.
All right, well, boys,
it was a good show.
That was the Fireside Chat.
That was the Fireside Chat. Nicely done, man.
All right.
You came in with the heat tonight.
That was the idea, yeah.
Let's end it with this little teaser for the peoples.
Teaser for the peeps. Oh,
I don't like it.
There'll be a lot of. There'll be some more edits before.
I love it.
before
I
this goes live.
actually love it. I mean, I look corny, but it's cool.
So Haroon has been working feverishly with probably a very underpaid Indian web designer to create a new website for the podcast, soon to be launched at higherstandardpodcast.com, where it integrates not only the show, the streaming platform, some information about us, but also the merch store, which had been somewhat disconnected up until this point. So
Is this live, Odin?
Yeah.
Oh, this is live for people to go on to now, huh?
Yeah, push it out live earlier
Wow.
tonight.
okay, wow.
Go check it out, higherstandardpodcast.com.
Can you go to let's go to the About Us section there.
Yeah, let's see that.
Let's see how.
Did
The
I?
episode section.
I
still
give you-
needs to
did I
be
give you
updated,
something?
But
Ooh, it's the Men in Black.
I don't mind it. I don't hate it.
there's still work to be done. But I
I'm
just
Will.
wanna
I'm
push it out.
obviously Will.
Yeah, that's fine by me. Okay. You're very
Ooh.
questionable in that photo right there.
Why'd you go with that? Like, I can't approve these photos, bro.
You look like you're making a blood diamond in your anus.
Obviously swapping out the
No, leave his
images are
photos.
easy.
Leave his photos. They're
I'm
great.
fine with it. I'm fine with it.
I have no problem
no
with his photos.
shame in my game.
Yeah, meet our host.
Oh, wow.
That's not bad. It's good.
Please tell me you threw those jeans away, man.
I did those jeans.
Oh, look at you. You on Mind Pump. Ooh. The $10 billion baker.
Yeah. You did not understand what I did for a living.
Yeah.
Poor bastard. Shop THS.
Shop DHS? Yeah, does this take us right over to the Shopify store? Man.
See, I like the Shopify's current store better, but as long as this works, it doesn't really matter.
If you like the Shopify store more, it's easy swap.
I like the way it looks better than this. I think the Shopify, if you go to the Shopify store, it probably looks a little bit aesthetically pleasing, but I mean, whatever.
Looks good. I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Looks
Odin.
great.
Mhm.
Good job.
And the
Yeah.
episodes, this is going to have all of our YouTube episodes. Right now, it's still in the works, but easy fix.
Wow.
All right. Well, no, I like it.
There's going to be a blog up, people. So if they want to read it, they don't like listening. So
Oh, like
Who prefers to read anymore?
sometimes
No one.
people like that.
That's
No.
funny. You can tell he's very happy with
Chat
this.
GPT, read this for me.
yeah, exactly. Summarize this in 5 bullet points.
I like
All
it.
right.
I
No,
like
it's
it,
a good
man.
job.
Well done, sir.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Odin, you got anything else?
Nope.
Christopher?
No. Thank you for joining for our fireside chat, and hopefully we didn't offend all of you.
Just some of you.
Most of you.
Yeah,
That's fine.
That's fine. It's gonna happen.
All right.
I think there's something else I wanted to bring up tonight. Can't remember.
I'm sure it was not helpful for me.
No, it would have been derogatory.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's just call it right.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, bye.